When I started out as an ecologist in the late 90s, I think if I had talked to 21-year-old me and said, one day you're going to be working for a major global energy company, I would have found that really hard to believe. But as I've got older and, I've always been very strongly committed to the environment and very strongly committed to doing my part, I'm actually really proud to work for a company like BP because I believe we are looking at this in a responsible way. PA helped us work on an incredibly complex project, but find a way of kind of cutting through that complexity and then enabling us to see and communicate how we could take that programme to a much wider range of stakeholders, both within and outside the company. My name is Kathrina Mannion and I am Director of BP's Advancing Low Carbon Programme. BP has for a very long time recognised the challenge of climate change, and actually, some 20 years ago we were very publicly stated that we recognise this as a problem and we recognise we all have a part to play in helping address it. So we've been working steadily on that over the last couple of decades, but very recently we sort of reinforced our commitment and our contribution to a low carbon future. So the Advancing Low Carbon Programme is helping do two major things really for us as a company. First and foremost, it's about driving and encouraging and recognising more low carbon activity right across everything we do. So that's whether that's in our operations, whether that's in our downstream business, whether that's with our ventures or partnerships. At the same time, as well as us wanting to ensure that we drive this change from within, we also want to be able to communicate outside what we are doing as a company. PA's been involved in the Advancing Low Carbon Programme right from the onset, right from us designing what the programme would look like, what would be in scope, what processes would underpin it, how would we drive support and engagement for it across the company, and also the rigorous criteria and elements that we needed to ensure that this programme was robust, defendable, credible, and something that we as BP were happy to put our name behind and launch. When we launched, we already had, as I said, 33 activities representing in and around 18 million tonnes of CO2 equivalent emission reductions or savings within activities delivered by BP, and then a further 4.3 million tonnes of CO2 equivalent delivered by BP partners. And I know these are big numbers and they're quite hard to get your head around, but that's quite a significant impact in a very short period of time. But what we're looking to see is, well, how can we use the programme to make these, to drive further action across BP. So how can we grow the number of activities within the programme? How can we engage more of our partners who want to be part of it? And that's something that PA's been supporting us on, but it's also something that we as a company are taking very seriously, and ultimately all of this is working towards a much wider ambition of being a company that is taking this dual challenge of meeting energy demand while reducing emissions head on.